Hello, my name is Jordy. I'm going to be talking about how to give a speech. When giving a speech, I would say that the first thing you would have to keep in mind is first calming down your nerves, breathing in a pace you're comfortable with, and not telling the public that you're nervous. Also, another thing that I would really give as a tip for success would be to rest the day before. A lot of times when I don't rest before giving a speech, I end up getting short on my breath and going on tangents. So yes, when we give speeches, we do tend to be more nervous than we really should be, so it really helps not telling the people that you're going to give the speech to that you're nervous. So uh, this would be my outline. For me, the best thing to keep in mind when you're giving a speech is first, when you make a PowerPoint. The PowerPoint has to have a lot of iconography so that you can select, so that you can know what to say once you see the picture. Definitions so that you can tell the other people, well, so that the other people can see in your presentation that you have researched, at least at a base level, what you're talking about. Quotes to base off an important topic that you're going to be talking about. Also, that serves as a source material, and a list. To me, lists are very important, like a pros and cons list. It does help a lot, because people can see in an organized manner what are your ideas and what you've been striving for, and the critical factors for success. Now, for example, this is an example of an iconography. Here you can only see one word, that's social work, and then you can see one hand helping another. One of the hands is a little bit wrinkly, so we can assume that it's an elderly woman. So with that, I can already tell that in this exposition, we can talk about social work and how a social worker can help in the quality of life of an elderly person, or help the elderly person deal with issues of abandonment or issues of taking care of his family, because a lot of families tend to either forget the elderly person or completely latch onto them. Uh, on the downside, we do on the down part, below the picture, we have a sandwich monster that would remind me of, when talking about social work, I would talk about how in social work you have to keep in mind that even though you have to that when dealing with families, you also have to be, first of all, very serious, but also have a keen eye for the innocence of the house, like the children, the kids. So you have to see the kind of environment that the house may have. If there are kids, what kind of dangers the kids are exposed to, but not deal with it, like, don't show it in your face that you're scared for them. Just keep them in mind always, and always do surprise drop-ins. Here is an example of. There's also an example here of iconography, because in the whole picture I can see the word hospital, no, law of communication. With this, I can already tell you about the political systems in a lot of Latin American countries, where the government controls the TV, the radio stations, so that they tell the population that they are doing the right thing and they're not stealing. In Latin America, it is widely known that people that the political that the politicals, well, yeah, that the politicals, the representatives, do tend to be a little bit of snatchers. Now, process approach, here I have a quote, but it's also here I have a quote. First, the iconography process approach. Here's an icon of three people and of three people and an arrow going up. Here I can already tell that it's about a business environment. It's about working on a strategic plan. And with the definition here, it's only so that I can nitpick, grab one or two words so that I can get back on track on what the presentation is about. Now, always keep it simple. Don't put a lot of uh, don't put more than a paragraph when you're making a PowerPoint. Like for example, here I put a quote, Neil Armstrong. We see very few, if any, studies that provide a convincing evidence of a positive employment effects of minimum wages. Do tend to not read out loud or the whole quote. If you can just talk about Neil Armstrong, like how Neil Armstrong works in MIT and how he is a very sought after professor. He has many different debates in the Humane channel and Vox. Like he's actually a very good. It's not the word's not debatist, but I really do like the way he talks. I do like the way he thinks. He's the type of person that, in order to sell you an idea, he also includes the bad first and then the good. And I tend to be like that too. I, this is a list. I only put this is a pros and cons list. It's about approach and functional approach. It's pretty simple. Anybody can read it. You can start from whichever point. It doesn't have a beginning or end. And yeah, that would be the end of my slides. Thank you very much for looking at my speech on how to give a speech, and thank you very much.